Singer-songwriter Natalie Cole stormed into the 1970s music scene with her eclectic mix of smooth R&B vocals and rhythmic, funk-inspired instrumentation. As the daughter of jazz legend Nat King Cole and iconic jazz singer Maria Cole, musical talent surrounded her from a very early age. Citing the likes of Janis Joplin and Aretha Franklin as some of her first musical influences, Cole and her siblings were in close contact with some of the most highly regarded singers at that time. Unfortunately, the death of her father in 1965 to lung cancer left Cole and her mother at their end tethers with one another. Yet she remained determined and enrolled herself at the University of Massachusetts. Whilst Natalie Cole did complete her education career with a major in child psychology, with German as a minor, she chose to embark on a similar career to her parents. Humble beginnings were found in a small venue aptly named The Pub, where she performed numerous times one summer as part of a band. Following this, she found solo success with the help of producers Marvin Yancey and Chuck Johnson, who allowed her to begin her work. The process was a quick one, and within the same year of 1975, Natalie Cole's praised debut album Inseparable was released. Inseparable remains a flagship example of Cole's talent to this day, with critics noting her daring decision to depart with her father's jazz influence and into the realm of R&B music. The album's midway point is marked with the brilliant track This Will Be an Everlasting Love, which incorporates joyful big band backing and hopeful gospel-like lyrics from Cole herself. Such energy follows in the likes of funky How Come You Won't Stay Here and mournful yet empowering Something for Nothing. Natalie Cole's debut was an evident success commercially, reaching to the top of the R&B charts as well as the top 10 of the Billboard. Additionally, Inseparable garnered 2 Grammys for Best Female R&B Vocal Performance and Best New Artist. For the second half of the decade, Cole demonstrated her effortless ability to release consistent music. Her sophomore effort, entitled Natalie, maintained soulful R&B style, opening with the strong Mr. Melody, which interestingly involved Cole scatting, a quality strongly associated with the jazz genre as popularized by Ella Fitzgerald, who I made a video about too. Nonetheless, the classic Natalie Cole sound was at the heart of the album, and the third track, Sophisticated Lady, She's a Different Lady, contained all the bass-heavy, ballad-like vocals which subsequently led to Cole's third Grammy for Best Female R&B Vocal Performance once again. 1977's Unforgettable once again reunited Cole with producers Yancey and Johnson to carry on the consistent string of chart-topping soul tracks, rounding off the 70s with another 2 albums, Thankful in 77 and I Love You So in 79. Natalie was one of the most successful artists of the decade. This was only exaggerated further by the media referring to Cole as the new Aretha Franklin. Following a television feature alongside other successful artists, Natalie Cole's name was put on a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, solidifying her artistry as iconic. The rate at which Natalie Cole found herself at the top of stardom was quick, meaning that the 1970s was an especially busy time in her career. However, the following decade was the opposite case. A struggle with drug addiction arose alongside her fast-paced career and began to interfere with the professional side of things. She departed with her longtime record label Capitol Records after her 2 final releases with them, Don't Look Back in 1980 and Happy Love in 81. Taking a year out from releasing another record, Cole entered rehab and returned in 1983 with the uplifting I'm Ready, released with Epic. Juggling health problems, Cole remained focused on her music and subsequently released Dangerous in 85, Everlasting in 87, and Good to Be Back in 89. Each of the 3 albums was initially under different labels as Cole was slowly re-establishing her music career and kept predominantly under the familiar R&B genre. However, by the time the 90s came around, Natalie Cole began to venture into genres more commonly associated with her father, Nat King Cole. In her 1991 album Unforgettable with Love, Cole explores classic jazz songs in her own silky rendition. Gorgeously produced tracks with simmering orchestras and Natalie Cole's controlled vocals make the album one of her most consistent in years. The opening track, The Very Thought of You, Cole borrows classic R&B style from the likes of Little Willie John and big band extraordinaire Lewis Russell. The immaculate layering of piano, strings, and her voice brings what was a hazy old classic into recent memory in a way that is as clear as ever. Whilst she carries this balance between respect and interpretation throughout, the most touching moments on the album are the covers of her father's work. She majestically takes on the iconic LOVE with playful swing style, closing the track with brilliant vocal range and projection. Whilst Straighten Up and Fly Right, a song with his trio, the King Cole Trio, showcases Natalie Cole's ability to express herself delicately, which leads to near whispers at some points. A beautiful guitar solo features and is reminiscent of Cole's earlier funk-infused R&B work. A collaboration between Cole and her father was made possible with technological advancements, resulting in the striking Unforgettable. Unforgettable had a brilliant reception, shifting over 5 million copy sales, a collection of awards, and the 7 times platinum confirmation by the RIAA. Following her comeback with Unforgettable, Natalie Cole dived back into jazz with her 14th album, Take a Look. Much like its predecessor, the album had good sales. The 1996 Stardust demonstrated her effortless skill at creating and covering great jazz songs, including another crafted collaboration with her father on the 1952 song, When I Fall in Love. The album consequently went platinum. Cole had also managed to make a big band-inspired Christmas record entitled Holly and Ivy. On the cusp of the millennia, Snowfall on the Sahara was released and marked a revisit to the genres that got Natalie Cole famous in her regard. Modernized and fresh, Cole daringly approaches pop music in a much more contemporary manner than her work in recent memory, which was often retrospective and sentimental. From this album onwards, Natalie Cole shifted between pop, R&B, albums and jazz contributions, which were both equally commercially successful. Her final album, Natalie Cole en Español, was a striking and surprising body of work which contained a series of Latin pop songs. It came after 10 years of Cole expressing her desire to record a Spanish album, to which her former label Capitol kept refusing. Eventually, with Verve Records, her 23rd album was released and was a colorful set of romantic songs. Natalie Cole passed away in 2015 after nearly a decade of varying health problems. Heart and lung issues had formed since a kidney transplant in 2008. Nonetheless, Cole had a wealth of tour dates lined up. Up until her very last months, Natalie Cole was determined to continue her 50-year career onwards. The rich and varied discography she has left has cemented her as a highly influential figure of classic R&B music. You can check out the Carliv Spotify to listen to the original tracks of the artist. It's a curated playlist with the most popular songs.